Have you ever? Are we on?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Okay.
It's going.
Have you ever got to the microphone and it's like wet on stage? You know what I mean? You're like, oh god. You just have to guess which comic it is.
I don't have that. I can't think of a memory
It
of
happened-
being like, yuck.
It
I
happened the
probably
other
do
day.
that to
Who was it?
I don't remember. That's the problem. I got on stage and went, ugh.
People have commented that my hands are sweaty when I shake hands. That's why I always go for the fist bump.
Yeah, you don't want to hit him with the sweat palms.
Nah, especially as a host.
Oh.
It's like,
Oof.
yeah, somebody that's just going to eviscerate me.
Yeah, immediately after, like, that guy's disgusting.
I catch a lot of strays. I put on a song for Colin Tyrell the other day.
Oh, what was that? What was the artist?
I mean, it's Polyphia. I fucking love that band. It's just like
familiar?
instrumentals.
I wasn't until that moment.
And he just, the first 10 minutes of his set is just him tearing into the intro music.
Oh, he was going at it, too. That was a funny moment, though. At least
It
it
was
created
good.
something. And then he had you dial it back up, which was even funnier.
He cued it back up.
Olivia, what the fuck is that?
Real music.
That was good.
He was awesome.
Were you? Was it our show when there was a hair stuck into the microphone? Was that me and you that were?
Yeah.
Was it like tickling your face?
No, you could see it, and it was just so
So you're like
distracting.
doing it like this the whole time.
You'd look down, and you're like, "Is there a hair stick? Like, how did it get there?"
Definitely me. Definitely my hair.
Was
Maybe.
it long hair? Or was
No,
it
it's like
a coarse.
yeah, it was like a coarse hair.
Was it? That was our show. Your show.
Not mine.
Our show.
All shows are your show.
Yeah. Touche. Not wrong there. Well,
Hot start.
hairs and mics and wet palms.
I don't feel comfortable.
Where was the wet mic at?
Here.
Gross.
Yeah, someone. I think they either were doing an act out and got real close, or
You hit your at Rosie's the other day.
I hit my teeth on the
hit your
microphone.
teeth.
Did you really?
Yeah, I haven't done
Chip
that.
one?
No, but I haven't done that since I started.
Maybe that's why I haven't noticed the mics being wet. Is because I'm not trying to stick them in my mouth, Casey.
I'm not
You know,
trying
it's
to
when I
take
take it
down.
out of the thing, and I'm already trying to be like, "Hey
So
guys,"
this
and
is-
fucking wing.
Just make,
That's not wet. This is wet.
No,
what you're
this
saying.
is what I.
How
You
would
could you could
Tip
just
is wet.
feel
Did
the
somebody spit
fucking.
on it?
Yeah, it felt like you
was
could.
it sizzling? Was it a hot mic? Just steam
It was,
pour out of it.
it was a real cold mic.
It was actually frozen.
It was bomb sweats just all over it.
Oh, gross. Bomb sweats, just nerves of open mic comics sweating profusely all over the mic that y'all put to your mouth.
Damn.
Gross.
There was a comic who used to set the mic on the floor for some sort of bit, and I always had to follow it. And I'm not like a germaphobe, but I was like, I don't want to. Go put it on the ground, dude. Like, it wasn't like we were doing stage shows. You know what I mean? It was like just random bar shows. You're putting the mic on the ground.
Yeah, just hold it in your mouth. That's all I can do.
Hand it to me. Like
Just
a
hold
dog.
on to it. Yeah, exactly.
He always brings his own microphone
Oh, man, we're name dropping that guy.
to every. He was just at Blue this week.
I saw him walking by the other day.
Yeah, he's back in town.
He gave me a look.
He always brings his own mic.
Yeah, he's got he unplugs it right there. Doesn't even tell anybody, just shows up with a mic.
Yep, I counted it as 5 minutes.
He's like a pool player. He brings his own cue.
Starts doing the the cue, the
Kind of
tip
an awesome
thing.
move. Kind of a good move.
Chalk?
The chalk.
Chalking it? The tip thing? Oh, you got a lot of tip things on your mind lately. Cool. All right. This is going to come out next week, so we got
Is it?
yeah, it'll come out Tuesday or something like that, maybe. It's Thursday right now. We're recording. We'll come out around then. What do we want to get into? What's valuable
Well,
to
what's
get
up?
into?
What,
We can get into open mics,
Next
comedy
week-
competition,
as I was saying, next week is the round 3 of the competition,
round 3 of the competition. So whoever moves on tonight, it's going to be a tough one.
and there's one round 3.
One round 3. Round 3 will be 6 comics doing 12 minutes each. After round 3, 3 of them will move on to the finals. The finals will be 2 weeks away on June 28th. And then 3 comics will do 18 minutes each to find out who's going to win some money. And then we may give them Joe List post duties. I haven't decided what other one I may want to do. I may give them multiples. I don't know yet. I'm going to play it by ear. But do something cool.
Yeah.
Feature spot maybe on the right national act, but a host set for Joe List could be a cool, quick turnaround for whoever wins the competition. Is a little bit of a prize. I'll check in with Joe on that and double check. But if I get to pick the host, they'll be guaranteed good hosts. If they
Next
make it that
week,
far.
then when this is coming out, tonight would be round 3.
Would be round 3, correct.
6 from 40 to 6. These 6, they've gone through 2 rounds. That's going to be a hell of a lineup.
Yeah.
It already is.
It's gonna be, yeah.
And there'll be 3 more.
Yeah, to go to
Pretty
40
fucking
to,
solid
from
comics
40
on
to
it.
6, and the 3 that have already made it through are really fucking good. So I like it. We got a good little challenge on our hands. We got a little competition that, like, it was the first time doing it again in years, so it's good. I think
Should we
it's gonna
talk
run
about
good.
how comedy competitions are bullshit, and we took out as much of the bullshit as we could? I
Yeah.
feel good about how we finally ran it.
I do too. Like,
Like-
I think there's going to be lessons to have learned from this year, but I think not going with the classic popularity contest cheer for who you like the most and just pushing through whoever's popular and actually trying to really judge and find who's got the most potential to go through. And I think we made a good move there. Comedy competitions are absolutely a gimmick. You run them because they sell tickets, and like it's an interesting thing. People see it and they're like, "Oh, a competition! Like they want to do it." It's a good thing to sell tickets and get people in the door.
And to get new talent through the club's door as well.
Well,
People
exactly.
are hungry. They
And
chase
discover
those
some new
chasers,
talent.
those hustlers that are looking for spots.
Yeah, I think we also, like, in reality, like the top 3 are going to have a lot of opportunity, but at the same time, there's a bunch of comics that we've met now from this competition that we'll be able to start throwing opportunity to, whether it's showcase spots or hosts or, whatever.
Or people that just had a good set. Like,
Yeah.
first round, good
Yeah.
set, and it's like, well, geez, I didn't know they were.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
didn't
Like,
know
there was,
that.
yeah,
Didn't know
didn't know
they were
they had it
capable,
like that, yeah.
It's good to learn and good to find, like, we got more talent in the region, especially because it's mostly regional comics. So they're reachable to add into the mix here at Empire and get more diversity of the lineup. So it's not just always the same comics week in and week out. So that way, people that love comedy, they can come here every week. Like on Thursdays when we start the rotation later this month, people can come and see fresh comics that are of a pretty solid level and greater to discover new comedy. And then I think we have a real opportunity to create potentially
This is so loud.
it does sound real loud. I wonder how it's coming through on the recording.
No wonder those turtles get caught in those things, dude. Brutal.
Yeah, that just threw me off completely.
It's funny because we all looked at it. There.
Competition's been sick.
But no, it's been
Competition
great.
has been sick. Competition's been really
Host
good.
could use some work, but
Yeah, the host is trash.
Not his best.
No,
not once.
not nowhere near. Oh, the one night or 1 week he did really good hosting.
Did he?
Yeah, one of the
One
weeks
week
was fun.
he was like, get that noise and energy up, and he sounded like a host.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, Casey's getting good at
Yeah,
hosting.
and then he next week proved that it was a one-off. He was a
Flashes.
one-hit wonder on hosting.
Flashes of
Yeah,
brilliance.
flashes of hosting brilliance. Keep that noise up.
Flashes.
Yeah, the competition's going to be great. I think the rotation showcase is going to be cool because we got like people that are interested. We obviously have regulars at the club now that come to a lot of shows, but like, how do we get them here more on the off nights and on the nights that don't have a major headliner to offer, but at the same time, good talent and a good night of laughing and comedy in general. And I think that's where we're headed this summer. I think we're going to have a nice resurgence of like kind of the local regional scene of bringing something to the table that will be marketable to people that are comedy fans in general that don't know the acts that are performing, but start trusting more in the brand itself to be like, oh yeah, they always have good acts on those showcases. Let's go.
You're going to really have to cut to you on that one.
What do you mean?
Because I just realized I was like, I'm just staring at the table. That's going to look horrible.
See, what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in slowly on you, just staring gauntly. Like,
Just not paying any attention.
you guys want to talk about frogs?
Yeah, hey. Pulling that bit out.
Just going to do the mouth agape.
I probably was too. I don't even know. I was like,
Just catching flies.
open mic's been hot.
Yeah, Sunday.
Open mic's finally popping on Sundays, and we got rid of the Thursday open mic, and I think we're starting to see a good bit of some new. There's been a bunch of new comics signing up on Sundays. That's
Yep.
one thing I notice when I go and look at the sign up. I know I'm not here on Sunday nights typically, but when I've been looking at the lineups, there are a bunch of names that I do not recognize at all.
Yep.
A couple of people, last week drove in from Boston.
Nice.
Come in. They said they'd be back in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's a hard established open mic now. Promoting it on the page as an actual show for people that are going to the club page to look for shows is a good move instead of having it under the open mic tab. I think that was a good boost to what it is, but also then cutting out the Thursday open mic now, people see that like, oh, we need to go on Sundays, and like that's the spot to start going. And
Dundas does a great job hosting.
Dundas is a great host. Dundas is a great comic.
Very professional.
I'm glad he wanted to take that up because that's huge.
Yeah.
And then it also doesn't have us every single week being like, oh, can you host? Can you host? Can you host? Can you host? Like that's a nightmare. So having someone that's a fixed regular host that like is a pretty liked guy around the board, like most people like Dundas, like he's really a neutral, great dude. So I think that's a good one.
Yeah. Well,
It's funny.
Different
I
occurrences.
can't think of anybody else but Dundas that could fit that role.
No, it's a unique role.
Yeah.
It's a unique role. There's so much drama in every comedy scene in ours.
You
included.
said neutral. I was like, that's kind of but it is a compliment in a scene that nobody has negative feelings towards Dundas.
Yeah, there's no beef.
No,
He's just so great.
And he's very
great.
professional.
He's
That's
professional as hell.
Very like.
And he's a seasoned veteran, so like
Right.
he knows like a lot about comedy. He has a lot of good insight to give to people. He's a very valuable like member of the comedy community here in Portland. Like it's like having someone that's been doing it for as long as he has, that's a regular around here, is like huge. Like it's super valuable to all of us because he's been doing it for 15 years or something. He's been doing it a while, right?
I think so.
I don't know
Yeah,
exactly how long, but he was a comic in DC before he moved
Yeah.
here. He moved here in 2019, I think, because he started coming around 2019, 2020, or maybe it was early 2020 when I met him.
Oh, you knew him before?
He started getting on like a couple things here in 2020, right before COVID hit. We closed. He was around a bit, so I knew him from that at least briefly for several months or whatever it was when he first got into town, and then everything ended. And now we're back.
We're
Vengeance. We're crushing. Shows are selling out like crazy. For this reference, Lucas Zelnick is 2 shows nearly completely sold out. One is already sold out, and then the other 2 late shows are following closely, and those will sell out in the next probably week or so. So I'd suggest getting tickets.
Last year he brought Ashley Gavin out of the blue.
Yeah, that was cool. Right
Pretty
off
cool.
the bat too.
That was like one of the first shows.
It was him. It was Adam Conover, I think, was the first big act, and then him. And then we had some great acts like Ray
Asmus.
Harrington and a couple other people pieced together that did really well. We had some good shows considering that we like dry launched out of nowhere from a complete restart position. Yeah, the Lucas Zelnick show is going to be great. Since we talked about that, might as well roll into the upcomings real quick. Katie Hannigan this weekend. She's doing 2 shows, 7 p.m. shows. She's fantastic. She's on a podcast with Sarah Talamash. She's a New York comic. She's fucking really good. Those are going to be dope shows. We'll have some showcases for the late shows. We have Cruise Line Is It Anyway? Thursday, June 12th, hosted by Dennis Price, Improv.
Oh, okay.
And then we have obviously the competition round 3, June 12th, 9 p.m. Moving into the week. Let's see here. Let's pull it up so it's not super off.
Was
I'll
that
just
the
cut.
beginning? It's the end of June.
Yeah, no, middle of June. So like, yeah, we'll have the Katie Hannigan week, and then we're gonna roll into Dad Jokes, which is a all dads showcase with Johnny Ader, Matt Dundas, Alex Temple, Stephen Barton hosting, and then we also have a guest spot for Sean Connolly, who's a out of town comic who's really great. Then the weekend with Lucas Zelnick, obviously. We have the Bad Brunch, the Drag Brunch coming up on June 21st. That's going to be dope. Tickets are already selling really well for that. I suggest you get those soon, too. And the one I'm really excited for is June 22nd, Drew Dunn. Drew Dunn is a fucking murderer.
He's awesome.
He's so good. I was watching a bunch of his clips today. I was talking to his agent earlier, and we were talking about him in general and like where his tickets were and stuff. And it's just like the level that he's risen to. Like he could be one of those next comics that pops like in a big way. He's fucking crushing right now. I'm really excited for that one. We obviously have the open mic every single Sunday night at 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then rolling into the weekend of the 26th. Oh, we have the rotation showcase started on the 19th. So that's that week right before Zelnick. And then we also have Gender Blender coming up produced and hosted by Caleb Theodore Sherman.
Caitlin Reese and Bailey Pope. Fuck yeah.
It's going to be a good one. And then we have the Dark and Dirty show late that night for the 9:30 show. The Empire Comedy Classic Finals will be on June 28th. That's going to be a banger with 3 really great
That
comics.
also a Thursday, I assume.
No, that's a Saturday.
That's
for
a
the
Saturday.
Finals. The finals is
Oh.
on a Saturday. So we went with the prime spot for the finals. And then following the Empire Comedy Classic, we have Maine Made featuring Caleb Theodore Sherman doing
Fuck
his
yeah.
first headline.
Oh. What?
My first hour and a half.
This is the first I'm hearing of it.
And then obviously we got some more rotations. We got no, that show was canceled, so I'm not going to drop that. And we roll into Joe List. Just added a second show for him, selling out. Kim Congdon, Bobby Kelly, Dan Soder is going to sell out. Like so much good comedy coming up this summer and into the fall, where we are going to be stacked on shows. It's going to be great.
Woo! Are you excited for your headlining show?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel ready. This far out from yours, you were shitting bricks. You were sweating.
He's not wrong.
This was
And
wait, when is it? It's in
feel
so today's
so
the
good.
fifth. 5th. So 3 weeks away. Yeah,
You
at this
were
point,
fucking
this point, I
panicked.
came to grips with I don't have the time.
You
I
don't.
think. And
Yeah,
then,
you kept saying that.
right.
You're like,
and
I don't
then-
have the time. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm so sure that I have the time.
Well,
And what it's going to be, I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm going to do 55. That should be half an hour. That's what I'm citing it right now. I should be promoting it. It's going to be fucking good and cool.
Oh, yeah.
no, Caleb's gonna do great.
It's gonna be
just-
fun.
This is how you promote your own thing. I don't know. I'm gonna stretch for sure.
No, I mean,
You're
the
gonna
jokes
kill.
are in a state that probably I'll look back up. But it's everybody's first 45,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're good. I like most of them. That's the headspace I'm in.
Well, you do a lot of long form jokes too that take a little bit of time to get into. So having the ability to open it up a lot is going
Take
to
a
be
little
What kind of point can I make? That's
making points, starting chants,
good. Making points.
social movements,
Name-
using my platform
Yeah.
to talk about serious issues
Yep.
from a perspective
yeah, like the Amish.
unlike
Yeah, like
anybody else.
Amish.
Look how much they're laughing at even the reference to my material. It's
gonna be
so,
June 28th.
It's gonna be great.
June 28th, Caleb's first headline. Yeah, I can't wait
so
for
bad
that.
at promoting myself.
Yeah,
It's gonna be cool.
It'll
though.
be good.
it is going to be good.
I actually think it'll be yeah.
And then who's next up for Maine Made? That's what I got to figure
The next
out.
person you want to do is
who are we going to put as the next person for Maine Made?
Dundas.
Dundas.
Dundas would be an easy
Wow,
one.
that was
Yeah, I was who I was thinking.
yeah.
Dundas, Mike Gray eventually.
Oh,
I know Mike Gray can do a long form set. We'll get him in the mix too. Who else do we think?
Johnny Ader?
Yeah, Johnny Ader's a no-brainer. Anytime he wants to do it. I love Johnny.
Yeah.
Who else do we think is on the cusp of that 45 minutes plus in the local scene?
I mean, who's even working on it? You know, who would have the time?
There's a handful of people that do 25 to 30.
Yeah.
That extra 15, though, it's a little chunk to reach for.
Yeah.
So
This is a long time to keep people's attention.
it is a long
You
time.
know what I mean? Like you have to be like, it's gonna be something.
You got to keep it rolling. You
Like
gotta
every
keep it going.
time with this is a testament to a headliner we said, but like Column, it always felt like I was like, man, he's like just getting started into the show, and it'd be like almost, you know what I mean? Like it didn't
Yeah.
feel like that amount of time went by.
Well, that one show, he was literally doing 30 minutes
Yeah,
of fucking
dude.
crowd work with that drunk woman.
And
So
literally,
great.
and he was like, I hate doing crowd work, and then looks down, he's done half his show, is just talking to
he
that
didn't
woman.
do most of his material
Right.
on that late show. And I was like, oh, he's going to be so annoyed because he didn't get to run his hour because he's getting ready to record. And then he came off and he's like, that was fun.
That like the suspension bridge model of like start strong, end strong works to a point, but if you sag too much in the middle, the structural integrity of the whole thing will fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
Oh, you
can't
said-
dip too long.
To
Like
extend the
you
metaphor.
bookend the opening and the closing. You put your weaker material in the middle. But if it's too weak, you can crash the whole set for sure.
Yeah, kind of
For
just
sure.
sag. Just sag.
Yeah, there was about 5 minutes in there I
Just
would
for
replace that I have replaced
With
since.
the whole middle part. it
Middle
could get
part.
out
It
of
was
hand.
5 minutes.
You could lose.
You've only
them.
replaced 5?
No, I've replaced that 5. I've got 50 now. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
I took 5 out. I'm adding
How much time are you doing at that new headline you just got, the Woolen Mill?
40-ish.
40-ish.
is what I was told.
Well, that's good, though. A tight 40-minute set. It's a big deal. Get a headline spot out of town.
Out of state.
Yeah. Nice.
Woo!
That place looks cool.
Yeah, Woolen Mill does look cool. That's a cool little club. That's sick. It's a good start.
Yeah, look at us, huh?
Future headliners right here.
Yeah.
It's funny to say that with headline. I guess. Well, I guess that is fair, but
Yeah, I mean, you did one.
I did 3. I'd like to say.
What? You did 3 45-minute sets?
Yeah, I did 2. And one of them was 30. Sure.
What was the other 45?
Great Falls.
Oh, nice. I didn't realize you did a full 45 up there. How'd that one go?
Better.
Yep.
Tightened it up. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Knew what to.
Less sag.
It was also easier to be like, I know that if I do everything, I will have the time, and I'm not like worried about that stuff. So it's easier to.
Yeah, you're not
riff
overthinking
and,
it
like,
because you've already hit it once. That's a good point. That's a good thing.
Let's talk about good comedians.
Like famous ones or local?
Like, since we last put out a pod, there have been so many absolute
Oh, yeah.
fucking crusher weekends.
For sure. We already
Robbie
talked.
Hoffman, Steph Tolev,
Robbie Hoffman, that one was fantastic.
Robbie Hoffman is a crusher.
4 sold-out shows. What a great weekend. What a cool hang, cool person.
Yep. Yeah, she's one of the dopest people we've met in comedy so far.
Fuck yeah.
Saved Caleb's relationship.
I know. I'm going to get married now.
I know. You got to propose every day.
Propose.
Go buy those rings.
She was giving me so much shit.
She gave me shit too because, like, we got the water spill on the laptop that week.
Oh, yeah.
And she was there for that, and I got it all working, and I was like, oh, no, it looks like it's good. I put it in a thing for a dryer. And she's like, you should still take it to Apple Care, and like a month from now and say you had problems with it. Just have them overlook it and do it. And she's like, I know you're not going to do that, but you should do that. And she was really kind of momming me, and I was like, oh, damn, I should really do it. I haven't yet, Robbie, but I should. One of these days, I'm going to have a broken laptop, and she'll be right. She's a crusher. She
Great
was so fun.
crowd. The crowd was awesome.
Yeah.
All 4 crowds were dope.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
4
Every
sold out
Yeah.
crowd. So
Every
much
audience was
energy
great.
there for her.
Yep.
there for her, but also there's this thing of like some people have like people who are so there for them that they don't care who's on before them.
Yep.
Whereas like I don't know,
They were good.
They were
comedy
great, yeah.
Crowd.
Yeah, they were there for everything. They were really great. Fuck, we had so many good acts in May. We had Annie Letterman with the week after that. She was so fun to hang out with. She was so funny. She
Very
was
cool.
stressing me out showing up last minute to every show, but I think she enjoyed that. She's a killer. That was a lot of fun. She had that guy pass out during her set, which was interesting.
yeah.
We've had that happen a few times. Like Low Sugar or something.
It was like her last show of the weekend too.
Yeah, it was the very last show. A guy
was like
passed out right there. We had to bring EMTs in.
Who else? Steph Taleb. I mean, did we
Oh,
talk
of
about her?
course.
Steph Tolev was April, right?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
when was the last
When
time we
the last
recorded?
pod?
I think we talked about Steph Tolev when we talked about Joe Pera and stuff. I think it was one of the ones we went into right before we did the last one, before we upgraded our cameras and got some stuff in place to improve the quality of these podcasts. to make them
anything
better.
weird happened on that one?
Steph Tolev. She also had somebody that was sick that fell over at the bar too. Like we've had 3 people that have overheated or whatever. You know, nothing nefarious. Just people that had little health scares and everyone was fine.
Low blood sugar.
Everyone was taken care of. But we've had it happen for a few shows. Steph didn't even notice the EMTs showed up.
Yeah.
They came in, they took care of the lady, left. She just kept running through her set. It was a way different vibe for Annie Letterman's show because it was right there.
Yeah, it was right there.
It was right in front where everyone was realizing what was going on.
Damn, you got to be kind of trying to make them laugh though when they come in, right? Like you.
Oh, Annie was still
Like,
ripping jokes. She
can
was
I-
riffing the whole time
Can I
for
get
sure.
These people did not focus on saving this person's life.
She was definitely still riffing. Who else did we add that we haven't talked about? Who else was in May? Colin Tyrell obviously was a lot of fun.
He was a lot of fun. That was great.
Yeah, Colin was great. He was one I didn't know too much about. Like obviously I've seen him from podcasts and some other stuff, but never really consumed much of his material. And what you staring at over there?
Oh,
He was great.
Checking the clock, you know what I mean?
Like, oh yeah, checking the
I
clock.
want to see how much time we got.
Yeah, no, he was really good.
It's about to
So-
start doing crowd work so I can cover the time.
Yeah, we got some other ones cooking. I got some acts in the
We had
works.
Racine
Some Racine's great. He's just great New York comedy.
Adrian
driver.
Gagnon.
and Avery and Gagnon.
Avery and Gagnon were great too.
What a
Yeah.
great time.
Yeah, dude.
They were fun.
When they did the bumping mics, like crowdsource kind of thing at the end of the night, that was really fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
It was also just surreal because that days before that, Mark Gagnon had been on a couch next to Pete Buttigieg.
Oh yeah,
It's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
and then he's doing bits and he's being hysterical, but like the duality of that is wild.
Yeah, was that on Flagrant?
Yeah.
What's
It was
the
so
guy who
funny.
was just here? He does the impressions. Matt Friend.
Oh, Matt Friend. Yep.
Yeah.
Killer impressionist.
I had like probably seen a clip of his. I didn't know his material,
Yeah, I
but
didn't know anything about him. I saw him host the
his
Golden
crowd
Globes red
surprised
carpet.
me. But I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a cable TV crowd.
Yep.
And it was cool.
It was back,
He's,
sold out.
What did you mean by that?
They were just older than I expected because he's a very young man. He's
Yeah, he's
impressive.
26.
And he's like a comics. He's got this like TV energy. This
Yeah.
is complimentary.
Yeah.
It's like
He
I
was
didn't know what to
26. His
expect.
average crowd age was probably like 64.
And like that's
Oh,
it's
I
like,
know.
damn, yeah.
I was shocked watching him come in. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
interesting. All right.
It was
Yeah.
wild. It was cool.
It was cool. It was a good show.
was a
Sold
good-
out Thursday.
good show.
Can't beat that. We've had a bunch of good Empire comedy classics. A lot of the shows
Those
were
have
really
been fun.
well intended, and we've had really good sized crowds for most of them. So that's been great. I'm looking forward to the finals a lot. I'm really interested to see who the 3 finalists are. And it's exciting because the 3 finalists are going to be really fucking good.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really good quality comedy show. Even this week's great.
The round 3 is going to be super. It's 12 minutes is a big departure from 8.
Yep. Yeah,
Like,
but I
that's
think
a big
all of the
step up.
comics that have moved through definitely got it.
Yeah.
I think for
That's
sure.
going to be exciting. So if you already been to them, you're going to see new material, more material every time you come out.
Yep.
Follow the person you want to win. It's very cool.
Or follow them all, but, support the one you want to win the most. And your vote doesn't matter because you're part of the
Well,
crowd.
it matters. It's a fifth.
No, it does matter because the crowd, like how the crowd reacts to the comics during the sets and the amount of laughter that they get is tracked. So that way we can get an idea of how well they performed with the crowd. And that's one of the big key components of the judging. So, we just don't do the whole like hand over head cheer for the loudest comic because
Yeah.
that's a popularity contest. And
It's
you want
also-
to want to catch the moment of the set, not who people think, after 60 minutes of show. Who they
Right,
just
not who
decide.
they came to see.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. Because you don't even remember some of the sets by the time you get to the end if you're sitting there for 60 minutes watching 10 comics. I'm excited for that. That's going to be a really good one. Other than that, we got nothing.
Nope. Place is shutting down.
Nothing. No, there's so much good stuff
No,
coming
there's
up.
I feel like we're forgetting Rick Glassman.
Oh, glass.
Rick
Did we talk
Glassman.
about that on the last one?
I don't think we talked about it on the last podcast, but I talked about it on my little quick clip thing I did.
Oh, he was killer.
Rick Glassman was wild.
Wild.
The interaction with Rick and Michael Linacci from
Yeah.
behind the curtain was outstandingly funny. Oh, Roy Scoville too.
Rory motherfucking
Scoville.
Scoble.
Like, holy fuck.
Incredible.
It's crazy you got so many good comics coming through. You forget
Yeah.
how good of comics you just had.
He was also really fucking cool and loved this place.
Yeah, Roy was great. Roy's going to come back one of these days and do an improvised show here, and that's going to be fucking outstanding.
Oh.
We're going to do something really cool. Yeah, he wants to come and do his improvised show where it's just all organic material, nothing written, just riffing. He does it originally before I booked him this year. Last year when I was originally talking to his agent, we were going to do one of those shows because it's how I think he sources a lot of his materials for specials. And it just fell through, and then he came obviously for a full regular weekend doing his hour. But as soon as he was done, he was like, "Oh, like this place is great," and talked about how good the food was and like just how much he wanted to come back and do cool shit here because he loves the room. Same thing with Colin. Colin Tyrell texted me right after the weekend and was just talking up how good the room is, and that's my favorite part. Just how many amazing world-class comedians are thrilled with our staff, how organized we are, how we operate this place, and the crowds that come here. Like we have a gem in our hands, and it's pretty fucking cool. It's pretty cool.
Well said.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Let's cheers. To that.
Cheers. I wish I could hear it.
Yeah, we need to plug the crowd mics into the podcasting so that we could hear. We could actually
We hear
do a
that
live podcast.
uproarious laughter that's happening.
Too bad the staff sucks.
Yeah. The bartenders could use some work for sure.
I don't
Staff sucks. We have
Just
the best
kidding.
staff. That's honestly one of the biggest compliments we get on the regular. How good our staff is from the comics that come here. And they're in comedy clubs all around the country all year long. And they come here and they're like, this place is fucking awesome. And the vibe is dope. That's the equation. Book good comics, have a good staff, fill the room. It's a winning formula.
Sure is.
know. Hell yeah.